Hello, Miami. Alfie Banks has a rah. Oh, horse feathers. This humidity is something else. Right. I've got my luggage claim ticket. Now I just need to find this Hotel Belmont and...
Hey there! Hello!
Are you speaking to me, sir?
You see anybody else around, son? Come on over here and have a chat with old Doc Dammers, why don't you?
May I help you with something?
Pardon me for saying so, my boy, but I believe I'm the one who can offer you the help.
I'm really not interested in buying anything, sir.
Of course you aren't. Did you think I just fell off the turnip truck? I can tell a fellow salesman a mile away. You're here to get a piece of the action, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Then consider this your own little welcoming committee. What did you say your name was?
I didn't. It's Banks. Alfred Banks.
Well then, welcome to Miami, Alfred Banks. By your complexion, I'm guessing you come from up north.
Yes, New York, actually.
Hell of a town, but you'll find we do things a bit differently down here. If you got any questions, feel free to ask.
I'm interested in this Coral Gables development I've heard about.
Oh, straight to the top, eh? They call it Miami's master suburb. It's been meticulously planned and is ready to start construction at any moment. Lots are going faster than a Tin Lizzie downhill. If you want to get involved there, you're going to need to talk to the man in charge, George Merrick.
Where can I find George Merrick?
He's got a sales office downtown, right on Flagler Street. Look for the building made of coral rock next to the Stocks and Bonds office. You can't miss it. Of course, George is incredibly busy these days and doesn't talk to just anyone.
Maybe not, but he'll talk to me.
I like your spirit, kid. You'll get places thinking like that.
What's the current market like down here? I've heard quite a few things back in New York.
People are buying left and right. It's a great time to be in real estate. Plenty of dough to be made. Every day, more and more locals and tourists come looking for their own spot of land, and we're here to sell. Mark my words, Banks, we're on the verge of something great.
How long have you been in this business?
Probably longer than you've been alive, son. Before this opportunity opened up, I was selling lots on Miami Beach for Carl Fisher himself. Surely you saw his billboard in Times Square.
You mean It's June in Miami? Of course, everyone saw that. It's partly what inspired me to come down here.
Glad to hear it. That's a perfect example of good marketing and knowing your audience. Why do you think I'm out here by the train station? New arrivals are the easiest to sell to. There's a free piece of advice for you, Banks.
I appreciate the information, Mr. Dammers, but I'm afraid I must be going.
Of course, eager to get started, I understand. And believe me, there'll be plenty to do very soon.
It was a pleasure to have met you. Maybe I'll see you around town.
I can more or less guarantee that, my boy.
Hello, and welcome to the Hotel Belmont.
Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
I'd like to check in, please. My reservation was made under Banks, Alfred.
One moment, please. Yes, here you are. Your room will be the second door to your right when you get to the top of the stairs. Oh, someone was here earlier from the train station to deliver your luggage. It's been placed in your room. I'll just take that claim ticket off your hands for you.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem, sir. Please, let me know if I can assist you with anything else.
Is there anything you can tell an out-of-towner about this city?
Certainly. It's been growing at an alarming rate, especially in the past few years. There's no denying we're at the start of a land boom. I hear tell this new Coral Gables development is going to bring in thousands more people as well. At this pace, we could be the next Manhattan by 25.
Thank you for your assistance, my good man.
Happy to help.
Hello, sir. Let me know if I can be of assistance.
Excuse me,
What can I do for you?
what sort of records do you keep in this office?
All kinds. Marriage licenses, death certificates, property titles, you name it.
How far back do they go?
Not too far back, 30 years or so. The city wasn't officially incorporated until 1896, but I have some records going back to 1891. You let me know if there's anything you need to look up.
Have you always lived in Miami?
Nah, I moved down here from Philly after the war. Nice place. Can't beat the climate, that's for sure.
Could I look something up?
Of course. What do you need?
On second thought, nothing right now. Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
Pardon me, miss.
I'm terribly sorry, sir, but I'm just too busy for you right now. Perhaps you could come back another time?
Another time? I've just come all the way from New York. Surely there's something a lovely young lady like you can do to help out a man in need?
Look, Buster, I've heard it all before. Like I said, I haven't got time for you at this moment.
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, not that you'd care, but I need to get these letters written. And seeing as the weekly shipment of supplies has been delayed, I'm forced to do them by hand.
You seem very dedicated to your job. I can appreciate that.
I am, yes. Mainly because I want to keep it. Now, unless you want to come back here and pick up a pen, I really need to get back to my work.
A tempting offer, but I'll have to decline. I'll be back later. Pardon me, miss. Would this typewriter ribbon be of any use to you?
It certainly would. Mine wore out yesterday, and I ordered a replacement, but it hasn't come in yet. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate it. This will cut my work time by half at least.
My pleasure. Happy to help. Pardon me, miss.
What may I do for you, sir?
I'd like to see Mr. George Merrick.
Take a number. Mr. Merrick is in very high demand. I'm afraid he's not currently seeing walk-ins.
Would it be possible to make an appointment to see Mr. Merrick?
Certainly. Let me see. Our next available appointment is next September.
What? That's preposterous.
Mr. Merrick is a very busy man.
I think you've made that quite clear. Come now. I helped you out with your typewriter. Now you're just gonna hi-hat me? I don't know how things work down here, but where I'm from, one good turn usually deserves another.
Okay. Keep your shirt on. I'll level with you. I'm not going to be able to get you an appointment, but I can tell you that Mr. Merrick keeps an eye out for fresh talent. If you can manage to do something to impress him, he may see you without an appointment.
I see. What would you suggest?
Well, I'm not sure, but you might be able to get something done at today's land auction.
A land auction, you say? Where and when?
It's set to start this afternoon, around 2 o'clock. You'll find it at the corner of Granada Avenue and Coral Way.
Fantastic. I'll head over there right away.
Good luck.
Have you got any pertinent information on the Coral Gables development?
None I'm allowed to divulge, sir.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Thank you, sir.
Any bids for 200? 200.
Well, well, fancy seeing you here.
Thanks. What brings you to my humble little land auction?
I'm trying to see Mr. Merrick, but it's proving a bit more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Don't say old Doc didn't warn you, son. Anyway, I'd love to chat, but I'm a bit tied up at the moment.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Actually, there is. See those two sets of stragglers over there, separate from the crowd? They're all about a hair's breadth away from buying, but I just can't get them to budge. Take your pick. If you can convince either set to buy some houses, I just might put in a good word for you back at the sales office. The fellow by himself there seems like he won't take too much effort to convince. If you want a real challenge, you might try the crowd of 5 there.
I'll see what I can do.
Attaboy. Oh, one more thing before you get started. I know you've got experience in this business, but I want to talk to you about seller intuition. From time to time, you might find yourself needing to persuade someone. You know as well as I do that that's all about finding a person's weakness and bending it to your whim. When you're talking to them, you can use seller intuition to your advantage. It'll give you a clearer read on people and let you figure out what you should play to in order to get them to see things your way. But enough yammering from me. Go and do what you have to do. Sold! You've made your husband a very happy man, miss.
Pardon me, sir. I wonder if I could have a moment of your time.
What can I do for you, Mac?
The name's Alfred Banks, and I think I'm the one that can do something for you. I hear you're in the market to buy a lot.
It's true. I've heard plenty about this Coral Gables development, but I've got some reservations.
Let's have a chat then. I'm sure I can assuage all your concerns.
Okay. I have to admit, I'm not exactly the researching type. Fact is, I'm just going by what I've been told. I've noticed that they're not just selling houses, but also lots. What good is a patch of dirt to me anyway?
The advantage is, you can build whatever you like on the lot to suit your taste. You have complete freedom to build your dream home.
Yeah, but that means I'll have to spend extra money hiring workers, buying materials, pulling permits. I'm not dumb, you know. I just want the least amount of work necessary. And building a house is a heck of a lot of work. But aside from all that, people keep going on about Coral Gables. What's so great about this area?
From what I've seen, you'll have everything at your doorstep. You won't need to travel very far to get what you need.
Well now, that's definitely an advantage. If there's one thing I despised about my home up north, it was having to walk everywhere in the cold. One thing I don't understand though, why is the land being sold at an auction? It seems a bit shady, to be honest.
It's for the consideration of the buyer. To make things easier, we're trying to make these sales as stress-free and simple as possible.
And I certainly do appreciate that, don't get me wrong. Now be honest with me. All this seems a bit too good to be true. There has to be something that isn't right about all this.
Like any large undertaking, there's going to be growing pains. There's going to be construction, and not everything will be available right away, but you'll see. This place will be thriving in no time.
I appreciate your honesty. There ought to be more salesmen like you.
So what do you say? Do we have a deal?
We sure do. Where do I sign?
A pleasure doing business with you, sir. I hope you'll enjoy your new home.
Nice job over there, Banks. You got a real knack for this business. Now go get some rest, would you? You don't want to overwork yourself first day here, after all.
Mr. Dammers?
No time for beating gums now, Banks. I'm busy. You did a good job here today, son. Call it a day, and I'm sure good things will be coming your way soon.
Mr. Banks, I have a message for you when you get a chance.
Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
You said you had a message for me.
Yes, sir. From George Merrick at the Coral Gables sales office. He's asked you to stop by at your earliest convenience.
Fantastic. Thank you. Pardon me, miss.
What may I do for you, sir?
I got a message from Mr. Merrick asking me to see him.
Ah, yes, he's expecting you, Mr. Banks. Go ahead and knock on his door there.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Thank you, sir.
Come in.